something you have to really consider before moving out to Denver in 2026, and that has to do with the commute. So when I say commute, that could be interpreted in different ways. Not everybody works in an office these days. There's so many people now that are working remotely. So some aspects of the commute aren't quite what they were a few years back when nearly everybody commuted to work Monday through Friday. So when I say commute, there's different ways to look at this. First off, a lot of people move out to Colorado and Denver specifically because they have these goals and these aspirations of becoming a mountain person where they're going to go skiing every weekend and in the summertime go up after work and go mountain biking and hiking and camping. The list goes on and on. You guys get what I'm putting down here. But one thing that's really important to understand is there's such a difference in location depending on where you live in Denver and how easily accessible some of these activities are to do, whether it be after work on a weekday versus going up on the weekend. So really important to understand this and realize that just because you're moving to Denver, which is close to the mountains, it's not something that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. And if you are, then it's worth being very intentional about finding a place to live on the western side of town where you already are almost kind of in the foothills, places like Golden, Evergreen, Morrison, among others. So with all that being said, just making the point, because I've had so many clients and friends over the years make this mistake where they come out with these lofty goals of just, again, going out and enjoying the mountains and just getting outside every single day. And after a month or two, they realize that, man, I live far south in Aurora and, the traffic jams every day are so horrible just to even get over to the mountains. And what once was a 2 to 3 time a week goal now becomes something they do maybe once every 2 or 3 months. And let's face it, if you're moving out here to Denver to enjoy being outside and enjoy being so close to Mother Nature and the mountains, just having a little bit more intention behind where you're choosing to live and maybe having a little bit more realistic expectations. And then one last point to make before moving on, I really want to make this as clear as possible for you to understand that while a lot of people move out here with the expectation of getting up to the mountains as often as they possibly can, having some of those headaches, like I'd also just mentioned though, with the commute times to get up I-70 on a busy Saturday morning during ski season, or maybe just after work having to fight through rush hour traffic to get out to Red Rocks to do an afternoon hike. There's still so many places within the Denver metro area where you can still get that fix without going all the way up on a 2-hour drive to a mountain town like Silverthorne or Winter Park. There's still plenty of activities you can do, even in the Denver area, where you might not be in the mountains per se, but you still have beautiful backdrop views of the mountains, and in some cases can still be in hilly areas where you still feel detached from the city life, and you do still get that same sense of peace and a little bit of solitude. So if that's really important to you, I would definitely recommend focusing obviously on the western side of Denver, but that could be either to the northwest, places like Boulder, or maybe in northwestern Arvada, or it could also be going a little bit further south to the southwest, places like Ken Carroll, and also an area called Roxborough. So for people that still want to have that Colorado lifestyle, just making it really clear to you guys that you don't have to necessarily get up to the mountains to enjoy that aspect of life here. You can still do that with intention, even within the Denver metro area. And that's what I've found myself doing more and more. I lived up in the Aspen area for 15 years. I moved back down to Denver about 5 years ago. And that was one concern that I had, is just how am I going to take living back in the city life? Am I going to feel kind of confined and claustrophobic and like I just need to get out and enjoy the outdoors? Well, I was very pleasantly surprised that with Denver, there's so many parks that continue to get better and better, and just so many options here in the local area that you can do and still have that sense of peace and mountain active outdoor lifestyle. So there's definitely places out there. You just have to look a little bit harder. And if you have questions and want some specific tips for where I like to go, reach out. I'd love to share some of those with you.